Has prayer become lifeless and frustrating? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 mistakes that I've seen others make when it comes to their prayer life. I've also made these mistakes and it left me feeling dry and frustrated, and I so desperately wanted to connect to God, but I didn't know that I was making these mistakes and it was actually hindering my ability to hear from God more clearly. I'm going to share with you those 3 mistakes and the 3 things to do instead that will help you have a deeper connection with God that's more authentic and that is more life-giving. What's up? My name is Meryl and I'm a spiritual director and formation coach, and I help you get closer to God. So the first mistake that I see people make is that they don't spend time listening to God in silence. And silence may be something that's really uncomfortable for you. So if that is true, then you can set a timer. It's clunky in the beginning, but it works and it keeps you accountable. It's very actionable and doable. So after you pray, whatever it is that's on your heart, maybe it's for someone else or for yourself, set a timer for 1 minute. That's it. Make it really small. If you imagine you're spending 10, 20 minutes in silence and you haven't had that experience, you haven't trained to do that yet, it can be very overwhelming and frustrating and you won't want to do it again. And the power of praying consistently and having little tiny moments of prayer is that it actually compounds, just like Atomic Habits, James Clear said, make a 1% increase and 1% difference, and then in a year you'd be 37% better at whatever. So silence is something that's hard for you, which it was for me and it still is for me sometimes. Actually setting a timer and saying, let me be quiet for 1 minute and listen to God. It is so important because prayer is not a transaction. It's not something that you're giving God a to-do list and he has to then go do those things. It's you get to be with God, and God has a still small voice, and if we don't make the space to hear from him, then we can miss his voice. The second mistake that I've made and other people make is they repeat the same type of prayer over and over again, and it becomes lifeless and dull. If I was going to go on a date with my husband and we watched the same movie, went to the same restaurant at the same time, wore the same outfit, how boring would that get? I'd be really frustrated and I'd want to go do something else. So if you were praying the exact same way all the time, it is going to become dry and lifeless. I was never taught how to actually pray. I have a whole playlist of different types of prayer styles that for you just to get started, but try to mix it up. When prayer becomes boring and dry, that is when you need to go into discernment and say, God, are you inviting me into something else? Oftentimes prayer will change because God actually wants us to be frustrated with it. God wants to grow us and shape us and actually experience him in a different way. Prayer is not something that we do, it's somebody that we're with. So be spontaneous in prayer. Try up different prayer styles. That will help you not feel frustrated and like it's really lifeless, because doing the same thing over and over again is lifeless. The third mistake I see is people not being present in prayer. There are so many distractions. We are inundated with noise and pings from our cell phone, from to-dos. Our environments are really overstimulating, and so we do not spend the time to slow down and actually enter into a restful, quiet space with God. And we are full of distractions and we think, well, prayer's not working, so then we just get out of it and we stop doing it. When actually, if you take a moment before you really deal with any content in your prayer life with God or share anything that's on your heart, is to focus. And these are 2 things that I like to do. Number 1 is maybe lighting a candle. Give me an external visual that I am in the presence of God, that he is with me, and it helps me focus. If I am in a living room and there's piles of laundry, or I see the dishes over there and the sink that need to be done, it will pull me from prayer and I'm not able to be present with God. So get rid of the distraction, change your environment if you need to, and then emotionally and mentally become present. You maybe could do some breath prayer, which I will link up here, ways to slow down and to actually be present to God. If you don't do that, you're going to miss God and you're not going to experience the intimacy that you desire. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you have any other spiritual questions that I can answer. Check out this video next. And if you got value from this video, consider subscribing and also tap the like button. It helps get this video out to more people who may be stuck in prayer and frustrated. All right, see you in the next video.